People in Ontario are saving less today than they were 30 years ago. In 2013, Ontarians put less than 5% of their income into savings. Projections show that when they reach retirement age, they will not be able to maintain their current standard of living. The Ontario Liberal Party says the Canadian pension plan is not enough to meet the needs of retirees in the province. And Premier Wynne says she has a solution. The Ontario Retirement Pension Plan would expand income for millions of workers and help bolster middle-income earners. Here to explain more is Ontario's Associate Finance Minister Mitzie Hunter, member for Scarborough-Guildwood. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Marcel.
Madam Minister, you have a lot of responsibilities with the Ontario Retirement Pension Plan. Can you please give us a sense of what this bill is designed to do and how important it is for Ontarians?
Well, certainly. One of the things I want to be clear about is that when we talk about pensions, we're really talking about the future. And we're talking about putting away a little bit today so that in the future you have that purchasing power and you're able to continue to spend and continue to consume. And what we know is that that's really changing here in Ontario. And first of all, I want to say that, you know, we live in a province that has a very strong education system. We have a diverse population. We have one of the strongest economies anywhere. But we have some challenges. And when we look out on the horizon, we're really seeing that people are not saving enough for their retirement. And there are many factors that are contributing to that. What we have really moved forward with is a pension plan that will be there for the people of Ontario to provide a strong savings floor so that they can continue to spend and to consume in their retirement.
So give us a broad outline of how you see this pension plan working.
Well, the ORPP, the Ontario Retirement Pension Plan, will come into effect in January of 2017, and it will be a plan that is based on contributions from employers as well as employees, capped at 1.9% each, and those funds will be invested for the benefit of the members of the plan. So it'll be a fully funded plan based on people's time in the plan and the contributions that they make. And what is important is that they will have that retirement income when they retire, and we know that is it's a growing need in this province. 2/3 of people actually have no workplace pension plan to speak of at work, so pension coverage is very low. When you look at the private sector, it's at 28%. So really, the need is there. We also know that people aren't saving on their own through voluntary means. You know. RSPs and other mechanisms. People really are not putting away, and that doesn't mean that retirement is not coming. So we have to ensure that we're ready for that retirement when it eventually comes, because if people retire without adequate income, that potentially could slow down consumption, which has not a great effect on our economy, on business, and on that individual's quality of life as well. So we believe that people, when they retire, should have that dignity in retirement.
Well, one of the things that we're seeing is that a number of retirees are starting to slip below the poverty line, and that puts added stress on social services and being able to ensure that they have what they need. Because people are also living longer, you know, they don't have the money that will last them all the way through their retirement.
Well, you're talking about something that's very important, and that's the intergenerational changes that we're seeing, and we really need to ensure that you know, younger people are savings, because you know, the system of work is very different today than in our parents or even grandparents' generation. So we need to ensure that you know, that there will be a system in place for young people when they eventually do retire. You know, it's the 21st century that we live in, and we need a retirement system that really reflects those realities, such as labor mobility. People often move around and change jobs. We want to have a plan that is portable and that moves with them, and that they're able to save over a lifetime of We have a good system with
Mm-hmm.
CPP. It's efficient. It was certainly served us well as Canadians. The challenge with CPP is that it's not enough. The average in Ontario is $6,800, and we know the maximum amount allowable is $12,500. And we know that people just simply cannot make ends meet with that. It's not adequate, particularly after a lifetime of work. So what we're looking to do is, in the absence of the expansion of
Mm-hmm.
CPP, which we know the federal government has said no to, despite the fact that all of the provinces and territories had agreed to work on a CPP
Right.
expansion model, and Ontario has long since advocated for that with our Premier
Mm-hmm.
and Finance Minister, really leading that national conversation on the need to boost retirement income. So with the absence of that federal leadership, we really believe that Ontario needs to prepare for that retirement that's coming. As you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
the population is aging. We'll have twice as many seniors in the very near future than we do today. We're going to, in fact, have less active workers than we do today at a time when we have a growing population of seniors. So we really need to ensure that people have adequacy in retirement.
So you raised the premier. The premier in 2014 in the lead up to the provincial election raised the issue with the prime minister and tried to encourage him to get on board in terms of moving the CPP upwards. It's a established plan, has all the necessary ingredients there, and it's actually properly funded at this point. Why hasn't the federal government increased the CPP if, as you say, the provinces and territories were on board?
Well, it's a difference in approach, and I believe the federal government expects that people are going to save through voluntary means,
Things like the TFSA?
TFSA, or
Mm-hmm.
other types of voluntary tools. But when we look at the evidence and we look at the data, it's really telling us that people are not saving through those voluntary means that are available to them today. And I agree that we need to have greater financial literacy, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the work that we are doing right across, starting in the education system
Mm-hmm.
and right through. At the same time, we know that the Canada Pension Plan, is an efficient, effective vehicle. It's fully portable and mobile right
Mm-hmm.
across the country. And what we're saying is that it's not adequate. That it really needs to provide greater benefit to people in retirement, and that's the expansion that we've been asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Our Premier has been leading that national debate. There was a study that was done just last year that really looked at Canadians' opinions on this, and 74% of Canadians believe that retirement benefits needs to be increased, and that number goes to 77% in Ontario. So people recognize and understand that there needs to be greater supports for retirement benefits.
Now, you raised an interesting point just a few moments ago, and that has to do with the fact that today we're seeing more people taking on different jobs throughout their career. Unlike our parents' generation or the generation before, where it was either one or two jobs in a career, today you could be in 4 or 5 or more different jobs throughout your career. And some of those jobs are, in terms of consultants or independent work where you're not covered by a company pension, where you're not getting any company benefits. Are those people going to be covered through the ORPP?
Well, I absolutely agree with you. I think the workforce of today has increasingly become more mobile. I think I'm on my 6th job, if I'm any example of that, and I think in the future it's going to be even more so.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to ensure that people can save across whichever workplaces that they happen to be in, and that when they retire, they have that continuous stream of income into retirement. So that's how we're designing the ORPP, keeping that in mind. to ensure that that this plan will respond to the needs of that changing and mobile workforce, and that young people, people entering the labor market, will have an opportunity to save for retirement, regardless of the career in which they choose. And the details of the plan design are still being worked out. I've done consultations, in fact, right across many communities in the province, and really getting input from a range of individuals and businesses, community organizations, to ensure that we get this plan right and that it is really there serving the needs of the people.
Now, some critics of the plan have said that the 1.9% contribution by employers is really a tax that they're paying on it. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, a pension is not a tax. A pension is part of people's deferred compensation. It's based on the contributions that they've made, matched by their employers, and it's there for them when they retire, for their golden years, when they're going to need that income coming in. So that's really important. We do understand the needs of business and the fact that businesses need to prepare for the ORPP, and that's something that we are communicating with business and with employees. We're actually introducing the ORPP in 2017, coinciding with the reduction in EI premiums as well. So we are taking into consideration the needs of business. We, of course, want to work with the federal government in terms of the administration and making sure there's ease of administration and how we communicate the plan across the businesses that will be enrolled.
Now, Quebec has its own pension plan. It's different from the CPP, but are there any other provincial governments that are looking at modeling something along the lines of the ORPP or joining with Ontario in a parallel pension program?
Well, that's something that we're keeping in mind, certainly. And we have a technical advisory group on retirement income security that makes the information available across all provinces as we're developing and implementing the ORPP. So we are keeping our provincial counterparts informed, and I've certainly met with my counterparts in other provinces to share this information. We have some that have expressed direct interest, like Manitoba and others, that really are quite interested in what we are doing. What's important is that as Ontario takes this leadership, that we share this information, that we make it widely available to the other provinces as well.
So the Ontario budget will be coming out shortly, and are we going to see any aspect of the ORPP in that budget?
Well, we know that boosting retirement income security is one of the key priorities of our government, and ensuring that that we implement the ORPP within the 2 years that we have been given. So we're very focused on that, and I'm sure that there will be information that is available in terms of our progress, and we're going to make sure that we keep people informed as we develop the details of the ORPP and at each stage as we move forward.
Minister, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm joined by Associate Finance Minister Mitzie Hunter from the riding of Scarborough-Guildwood. We'll be back with The Point.